All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and we are rejoining half of the party of Heroes Wanted. Elwyn and Soggy are here. Donovan has not arrived yet, and Neris seems to be MIA, so we're going to kind of sit his character out a little. Elwyn and Soggy, as you remember, you are still deep in the swamps, the jungle, to the south of Lakeshore, right along the coast there, and you are searching for signs of the half dragon giant crocodile that came through here. Um,
Or as the lizard folk like to call them, the false dragon.
Dragon, you guys have been kind of shown the way a little bit, and I'm gonna move you to the map quick. Right, so last time you guys had encountered a lizard folk child who had uh, kind of given you guys a little bit of information, but now you find yourselves deep, deep in the swampy jungle, and there is almost a um, wilder sense to this land than others that you've been to. I mean, sure, you've encountered owl bears and other things in the caves and you know whatnot below Lakeshore, but this has, I don't know, like a primeval kind of feel to it, like you're
Like
walking into a
primeval, like similar to like the bunyip.
almost a similar feeling, like forces ancient and beyond your keen.
Hmm. Definitely
That's
makes
what I
sense.
thought. Soggy's just nervously looking around, making sure that the that the bunyip isn't here.
You all right, Soggy? I'm just sort of glancing over it. Him just sort of seeing, glancing about, and I almost assume he's got
Yes,
like a
Soggy
magic.
is fine. Soggy is fine. Just we should get to the swamp quickly. Do not want to be ambushed.
Remember, this is all rough terrain too.
Right. Well, then I guess we should perhaps get going then.
Giant frogs don't seem to be as interested in attacking you, but they do all of a sudden dive under the water.
Oh, interesting.
You forward, you make a perception check.
Oh, darn it. I already said that. Whoops.
You can smell
22.
something lizard-like. Can't see anything,
Oh,
but you can smell it.
oh. He thinks lizard folk nearby. Lizard folk nearby. They should not be hasty.
Agreed. Let's try to take this as quiet as we can given the circumstances.
Alright, so you guys are reduced to quarter speed as you attempt to move stealthily. Go ahead and roll stealth. So, and Donovan I'm not even going to roll for because he's a paladin in heavy armor. So you guys attempt to move stealthily through the swamp, but it's hard going. Rising up out of the water, you think maybe it's a crocodile, but instead you see the huge shape of a prehistoric lizard.
Oh, does Soggy know about this?
Only vaguely. Your kobold, clan has been down in the jungle, so you know that there's huge lizards, but you don't know like enough about them to be able to tell everybody what they're like. You just know that this one is very thwacky with its tail.
Be careful, Thwacky Tail.
All right then. Man, I'm just not getting any good rolls today. I'm worried about my attack rolls.
Dim-witted and angered that you have disturbed its rest, the giant dinosaur charges in and swings its club at Elwyn.
Yeah, that is. Ouch.
Yeah, that's a bad, ouch. So it clubs you hard and knocks the wind out of you as its tail slams into you. Donovan rushes to your aid, smashing his mace into the dinosaur, but its thick hide seems to shrug it off. I mean, it does damage, but not a lot.
But not enough. Soggy Tan, please do not smash us, big lizard. Please, we are just passing by. We mean no harm. We need. How does that work?
Unfortunately, the lizard stares at you with blank eyes. It seems to be exceptionally dim-witted, even for a reptile.
Some things just aren't able to be reasoned with.
Why does Soggy even bother?
Successful about half the time. Bolt of eldritch energy that Soggy launches at the dinosaur bounces off of one of its thick hide plates.
We're about to see how my attack rolls are. Oh.
Launching an arrow at the soft underbelly of the dinosaur, Elwyn pierces it for 11 damage.
Pretty nice. Into my turn.
The Notosaurus critically hits Donovan with his tail, dealing significant damage and knocking him to the ground.
This is very, very bad.
Donovan spends half his movement to stand up, However, he's not moving anywhere, so he just attacks. But standing up cost him valuable time, and his attack didn't, land properly as the dinosaur continues to threaten with his spiky hide and club-like tail.
Let us hope Soggy can hit this one. This is at advantage, right?
It would be, except for this is daylight, and but you're under
You
the
said it,
canopy.
but
You're under the canopy, so yep, it's at advantage. However, once again, your bolt of energy bounces off of the creature's thick hide.
why isn't this working? Why does this?
Bunyip has abandoned you.
Time to fire again.
Did you fire at disadvantage, though, because you're in melee range?
I thought he had to be right up against me.
Yes.
There's like a tiny bit of space right here, so I thought that was. If you want. Okay.
That's right up against you.
Okay, now.
You are correct. They do have to be right up against you, but he is.
Okay. In that case, I'll just hit it to fire again, and then.
Yep, you still hit.
Make that.
So, and then the first damage
Yeah, the
is what
5
we
damage.
go with. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see how the circle is a little bit in this square?
Yeah.
That's as close as he can get without being like that.
All right. Okay. Then I'm gonna action surge and fire again.
At disadvantage.
Yep. Double
Okay.
18s.
Yep. You hit again. This time your arrow's peppering its legs and it starts to hobble around a little bit. Fortunately, it also is not moving and decides to club you since you keep hitting it.
That doesn't hit.
It fumbles as the legs just kind of like give way.
Yeah. Yeah, it tries to hit you, but its leg is just so peppered with arrows now that it's like hobbling and it can't get a good swing in. Donovan decides to disengage and he says, "We got to move back. We can't take another hit." Rough terrain. There we go.
Soggy is like, oh, I hope this one hit.
Unfortunately, your spells continue to bounce off of its hide. It's almost like it's immune to your spells, but I can assure you as the DM it is not.
Yeah. I just keep hitting the wrong spots.
Right. Owen's going to second wind.
Bonus action?
Yes, that's bonus action.
That's what I thought.
All right. And this is a.
Donovan implores you to disengage and move back behind him.
And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing disengage action. And moving away, I gotta see how far I can.
Yeah, just Donovan says I can shield you, so.
Right there. I'll just move right there, right behind him.
Meant to move Soggy before the end.
That's fine. Yep.
I'll just stand in front of Soggy since. Yep, gotta hit enter.
The Nodosaurus slowly hobbles up and attempts to hit Elwyn. However, Donovan uses his ability to impose disadvantage.
That hits still.
Even with Donovan attempting to shield you, the tail gets through and deals another blow to you. Its damage is adding up. Donovan, oh man. I don't want to get anybody killed here, but like, I guess I'll mace it. I hate to like stay in combat when somebody could be downed with one hit, you know. If you guys were like big damage dealers, it'd be different. But with Soggy missing, you know, it's like, oh, I really don't want to get anyone killed with this warm-up battle.
We're gonna need to take a bit of a rest after this.
Yeah, I think so.
I finally hit it!
Soggy summons Eldritch Energy and blasts the dinosaur in the face, dropping it to its knees. It is not dead, but it is badly hurt.
Soggy yells at the top of his lungs, "Leave us alone now! Thank you!"
So unless you guys finish it off, it's gonna crawl back into the swamp.
Yeah, I don't think that's really a good, very of something Soggy would do. He's just trying. It just leaves. He just leaves the Nostradamus to.
Yeah, no, Soggy probably wouldn't be the one to kill it. I was more just seeing if Elwyn was like, nope.
Elwyn, I don't think he would, because he did grow up in the woods as he is a wood elf.
Right, you know, and this is just a dumb beast defending its territory and all of that, you know, so. But yeah, so he crawls off into the swamps to go heal.
I advise we do the same.
Yeah, so you guys can either go back or forward.
Forward seems closer, but we gotta find a way up onto these areas up here. That's what those can be climbed.
Yeah, the cliff can be climbed, and then there is, you know, like a possibility that there's another way up if you look around.
Oh.
Soggy's going to try and look for a way up.
There's like one over here, and then there's one on the other side.
Yep.
Say we go this way. This will be the most direct route, as it looks like. Yeah. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter too much, but.
Yeah. So as you guys begin to make your way up, suddenly you hear shouting in a guttural language, and spears begin to fly by your head.
Oh.
Soggy yells, "Listen,
Which direction is it?
Wait! Do not shoot! Do not shoot!"
All right, so they're going to get a surprise round to throw their spears at you, and then you guys will go, but we're going to all roll initiative.
Ellen just needed the warm up for his rolls. Also, it appears that Donovan is on vacation, so that's why he's not here.
I must have missed a message or something.
He just now sent it, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's what it is.
Oh, that hurts me.
One was at you and it missed.
Yeah.
You skipped us.
They got
Oh yeah, that
surprise
was on.
round.
Yep, that was on purpose. One of the
Ouch.
lizard folk critically. Why does it say spike shield? That should say javelin. Are they all saying spike shield? Oh yeah, look at that. What the heck? Anyway, one of the lizard folk's javelins hits you right in the leg. It doesn't pierce like a main artery, like you're bleeding out or nothing, but like it does enough damage that you're like hurt.
Right.
Soggy yells at the top of his lungs, "Stop! Stop! 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 Stop!"
The lizard folk do not stop. They throw their javelin at Soggy, dealing 3 piercing damage.
Ow!
I don't know if that hits. I don't know.
For Soggy,
Yeah, that's on Soggy.
it hits.
Then Soggy takes an additional 5 damage.
Soggy tries to yell in Draconic to stop.
I'm firing at that middle one there.
Fortunately, the lizard folk raises his shield just in time, but everybody takes the 5 force damage.
Sick Soggy, he's behind a rock.
Oh, not Soggy, just the lizard folk. They're up on a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah. Soggy.
Soggy just dives and just says, "Please, just stop. Just stop." And
They shout back to lay down your arms.
Soggy kind of like raises his hands, showing like he's not holding any weapons, and kind of like puts down the shining dagger.
Lizard folk raises his javelin and says, "Tell your companions to lay down their arms or we'll kill you all here."
Soggy yells, "Put down weapons! Put down weapons!"
Elwyn, what way are you leaning here? I'm not going to do anything with Donovan until you, like, give me a sign here.
Elwyn's at 1 hit point. He's he knows he can't take a fight right now unless they went down like close to immediately. So he's leaning towards just dropping.
All right, so Donovan looks at you and sees that and lays down his sword and shield. The lizard folk quickly come down and begin to tie your hands behind your back unless you resist.
All of us, including Soggy.
Yep, all of you.
Soggy just kind of like is just quivering, and as he's just like quivering down, cowering down, like he's quivering. Please don't hurt. Please don't hurt me. Soggy, don't hurt Soggy.
Now they have you guys taken captive.
Well, this was unexpected.
They take you to the top of a great step pyramid, and they have you all tied up, and Silas is nowhere to be found, and he disappeared. He like took off, and as they bring you up here, they make you all get down on your knees, and they tell you that you will be sacrificed to the great God, and that your sacrifice, your blood, will save the world.
Soggy also. What do you mean? What do you mean in Draconic?
If the great God is not satiated with blood, his hunger will consume the world, so we must offer him sacrifices.
Do I know about this God?
The only thing you know is that the lizard folk tend to worship a dragon god, and that the most common dragon god that they worship is Falazure, the dragon god of death.
Oh,
Soggy
not
translating.
very. Soggy does not want to alarm anyone, but we are about to be sacrificed to Valishot, dragon god of death.
And for what reason? Why? Okay then.
Because he is hungry, and they want blood.
Okay then. Well then give them a counter offer of we can take care of this false dragon in exchange and they can use that as sacrifice.
Counter offer, how about we sacrifice you guys to Falazure?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Soggy.
Soggy kind of like just relays the information Elwin just said, kind of like talking about the false dragon that's been going around.
Yeah, so basically you have to choose, are you trying to be persuasive, intimidating, what are you?
Persuasive.
Okay. Go ahead and be Don Juan Delanucci. Ooh, unfortunately, you're a little more Jason Mewes. So, basically, as you are conveying this to the lizard folk, they're like, yeah, we've seen the false dragon, and that is exactly why we know that we have to sacrifice you guys, because obviously Falazure is mad. So your blood, hopefully, is going to make him happy with us again. So stop whining and just shut up and take it. Take it like a man.
Yvonne, Soggy does not want to become sacrificed. Soggy does not want to be sacrificed. He just...
Folk kind of nudges you with his club, and he's like, don't make us gag you.
he kind of like just shuts up instantly. So, how are we going to get out of this?
I'm trying to think of solutions here. I got one that could be an escape plan, depending on when they plan to sacrifice us, but that's dependent upon that. I'm just trying to think of one in the moment.
Would you like to roll a history check to see what you remember about the lizard folk and their sacrifices? Everything. You know that Falliger accepts his sacrifices at the peak of midnight, his most powerful hour.
I relay the information. We are going to be sacrificed when the moon is highest is all.
I get another idea that's a pretty crazy one, but we might be able to pull it off if we get a high enough roll. We could always claim that we are worshippers of Vishalamut, is what you said, right?
Falliger.
Valid.
So
Okay.
this would be an advantage because Sagi would be assisting, right?
No, I can't talk to them. I don't know Draconic. You're the one that's relaying information.
I know that.
Yeah. So this would be like just a straight deception roll, I think, is what it'd be if we were claiming this. It's crazy, but it might work.
Yes, Sagi kind of like agrees. So Sagi will be a deception check.
Okay.
Advantage?
No.
Yes.
As Soggy is going to deceive them and tell them that you are worshippers of Falliger, and they look at him like, yeah, no. They all of a sudden look down, and it's Elwyn who has the shark tooth. Oh, who has the shark tooth necklace? Soggy or Elwyn or Donovan? Which one of you has that? Donovan, because he gave him the food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I run a lot of games, so I had to like remember which character gave him the food quick.
Right.
So they look down and they see Donovan has the shark tooth necklace of their tribe inscribed with the symbol of Falliger, and they all of a sudden believe you. And they're like, then you shall be honored to be sacrificed to Falliger.
Oh, crap.
Sagi.
I guess we got to go with the escape plan then. So, what time of day would it roughly be currently?
It's getting closer and closer to sunset, so just a few more hours until the big party starts, and you can tell that the village is getting ready. You can smell food and hear drums and dancing, and there's a huge festival as they prepare to sacrifice you.
Sagi is not liking this. Oh,
Would it be
what
hypothetically
does
greater
Sagi
than
do?
4 hours, perhaps?
4 hours, yeah.
Okay, so just long enough for Elwyn to go into like a trance for a bit.
Yeah, you can trance. Now's not really the time to be listening to, house music and taking drugs, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Elwyn's just sort of doing that, trying to work his way through ideas in a sense. That's all he's really doing.
Yeah. So as you are doing that, you have a vision of the great dragon god eating your souls.
don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Alright, then that's Elwin just sort of sighs, and he's going to. I take it these binds are tied pretty darn tight.
I mean, you can certainly attempt an escape artist check. It doesn't, tell
Yeah,
you the
I'm
DC
just
up front.
yeah. Our legs aren't bound
But
currently,
yeah, I
but
mean, you can tell that they're pretty well tied. No, your legs are not bound.
okay.
Your legs free to be able to walk through the swamp still.
Yeah, I didn't know if they bound us when we got here though. That was
They needed your legs
okay.
free to be able to walk up the stairs.
Right. Okay. Ellen's gonna lean over to Soggy. When
What we
I
do?
when I get the signal, you're going. Does Soggy need? Is it some? Does he need any somatic components to summon that tentacle of his?
I don't remember if it has somatic.
It's automatic. It's not that. It doesn't really have that. It's.
No, it
I
has
can.
components. I'll look.
Yeah, because that because it could because if this is going to work, I'm just trying to make sure I think of everything through before we go through with it.
100% correct. It is a bonus action that just lets you summon a tentacle. It doesn't have components.
All right then. Soggy, you're gonna need to summon your tentacle right behind that middle guy, and just sort of have it start attacking them. That'll buy us at least enough of a distraction for uh, Donovan and I to get our hands on the other side of our bodies, so that way we can at least do something to lizard folk to get out of here.
Saki understands. Saki will do it.
I'll lean over to Donovan and explain what the plan is.
Okay.
Alright.
The lizard
Alright,
folk
Soggy.
hear you talking and come over and bash you with their clubs and tell you to be quiet before you're gagged.
Ellen's just now gonna look at Soggy before giving a slight nod.
That means summon the tentacle, right?
Yes.
So Donovan is going to spend one of his hit dice during his short rest.
Uh, it's the middle one, right?
Yeah, right behind the middle one. Right
Make
here.
that 2.
Is it normal or advantage?
It's normal. Or, no, it's advantage because it's dark.
Ooh. 22 with 5 lightning damage.
It didn't summon the tentacle.
As soon as that's summoned, Elwin's going to basically jump in the air, sort of like Flynn Rider from Tangled, get his hands over his legs and run forward to just shoulder charge that lizard folk. Because I assume this is at an angle right here, sort of going down. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he's basically going to try to shoulder charge the guy back, and as far back as he can get him.
Okay.
You want me to make an attack roll, or what kind of
Athletics.
athletics? Okay, I figured I'd ask.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
What is their reaction to a tentacle?
Oh, yes. I'm shoulder charging him straight off. Just. Oh, man.
Dice gods favor us.
Apparently.
So he attempts to resist, but unfortunately, he gets knocked back and trips over the rubble behind him and falls tumbling down to the ground below.
Alright.
And now it's on.
Oh, only one lizard folk managed to get above. Oh boy. We're gonna need to make a mad dash. That's a lot of lizard folk.
Glowing. Oh, that's just your dark vision. Never mind. Like, why is someone glowing? What's going on here? So, the lizard folk, however, do not have dark vision, so some of them have torches.
Why can't you just let us have peaceful options?
We tried. We tried. I came up with the best solution I could given the circumstances.
There were peaceful options. All right, so the lizard folk at the bottom have not caught on that something's going on just yet. Lucky for you. But this one grabs you and attempts to push you back down into place.
All right. Is that an athletics, or can it be athletics or acrobatics?
It could be acrobatics if you want to try to tumble down the side of the thing quick.
No. I'll just. My
All
strength
right.
check is apparently on point
Yep.
today.
So he tries to grab you and you just easily muscle him off of you.
All right. In response to that, I'm going to attempt to slide around him and using the binds that are on my wrist, try to get those binds into his mouth so he can't call out.
Behind your back.
Well, I figured I would have turned around. You know what I'm saying?
That seems like a really hard thing to do.
To just simply turn around like that?
No, not to turn around. You can turn around, but your hands are behind your back.
Oh, I thought I told you I did like Flynn Rider from Tangled, jumping up in the air, getting my hands on the other side of my feet, sort of thing.
Then you would have needed to roll an acrobatics at disadvantage to do that. I'm sorry.
Because I was doing that before I even shoulder charged. You want me to go ahead and roll that now?
Yeah,
to see if I actually did?
Yeah, like I was letting you shoulder charge with your hands behind your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh wait, that was at normal, so I need to roll it again. My bad.
Disadvantage. Yep, disadvantage.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're fine.
So I can actually.
Yeah. We're good.
And that'll be an athletics check to try to do that. I take it. Oh my goodness! Every other roll has been good, aside from that one.
He grabs your wrist and shoves it aside.
All right. I take it that was my action or no? Okay. So that'll end off my turn in that case.
This lizard folk attempts to grab you.
Well, man, I'm rolling a lot more athletics than I usually do today. Just barely good enough, but it's good enough.
So now the lizard folk at the bottom are starting to get the message.
Uh-oh.
Soggy yells at the top of his lungs. Do you not see? Do you not see the tentacle? I point to the tentacle behind the lizard folk.
Yeah.
This is not. We are not supposed to be sacrificed. The god is angry now. He's getting angrier that you are sacrificing the wrong thing.
Talk about
Roll
It's a
deception.
deception.
Yeah, roll
Talk
deception.
about a mad bluff. You got this, man. I believe in you.
I hope this works.
I hope so too. It'll keep Elwin from getting grabbed because he's currently trying to get grabbed by two guys.
You rolled well. However, their god has nothing to do with watery tentacles, so they're a little skeptical. The difficulty class was an 18, so you came really close, and you bought yourself a moment's hesitation as they, are temporarily, like, I don't know what to do. But that just means that the rest of these are not going to charge immediately up.
As a quick question, is our weapons laying nearby? Do they take those with us?
Your weapons are in the hands of the lizard folk. The lizard folk you knocked down has Soggy's dagger. The lizard folk to your left has your bow, and the lizard folk to the right has the sword and shield of the paladin.
All right.
You pushed me down. You die first. Can't understand him, but Soggy does.
He does not like you.
The goal wasn't exactly to be liked. As soon as we can, get our weapons and run.
This one tries to grab you again. Tie goes to the attacker. Grabs you. You are grappled.
Well, then let's see if I can't get my one plan to work out at the very least, though. My bow is with him, but is my quiver still on my back currently?
Your arrows as well.
Okay, no. I was asking because I'm trying to figure out in my head what this is going to look like, what I'm planning to do.
I mean, they would have left you the bow and not the arrows, if anything. Yeah.
True. I was just checking. So they take the quiver of arrows on the back of the guy with my bow. So I'm going to take one of the arrows out, put it against the bow's runes, and everything to get it to charge up before I try tossing. Actually, let me check something real quick before I do this. This is going to be dangerous. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to think here. I'm going to stab an enfeebling arrow. I'm going to throw an enfeebling arrow at this guy, at the guy closest to Donovan. Now, is that you want me to make that a disadvantage since I'm throwing it?
So
Or
let's take this step by step.
okay.
The first thing you're trying to do is grab an arrow off of a guy that already has your bound hands grabbed. So,
Well, I knew that. I figured since it was grappled, it doesn't give incapacitated, so it still lets you do things.
yeah. Oh no, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm explaining why it's going to be like this. So,
Okay.
he's already got you grabbed. The first thing you're going to have to do is either escape, which is going to use your action, or you can attempt to grab the arrow at disadvantage using athletics or acrobatics.
Hmm. All right. Then I'm going to attempt to grab it at disadvantage with acrobatics.
Manage to grab the arrow. Now you have to try to touch it to your bow. That is another acrobatics or athletics check at disadvantage.
This is getting janky up in here, but
This is just getting nerve-wracking. This is a fight.
You're trying to do a really complex thing here, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of something I can do here in the situation, trying to help us all out.
I understand, but I can't just give it to you either.
Yeah,
you know.
no, I know that. I'm just.
Finally, you need to try to get the arrow where?
This guy right here, closest to Donovan.
You can't throw an arrow with enough force to penetrate. It can't be done. You can stab the arrow.
Nick him to deal.
You
to
could
do the
you could
feeling.
stab the arrow into him, but I'm going to require that because you're not even right next to him, that the attack is also at disadvantage.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna change it from. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna change it from enfeebling to bursting and attempt to just throw it at the ground, like maybe right here. Sort of like a firecracker sort of thing, I guess.
For you, I'd throw it right here.
That I'm trying to. It's gonna still. I don't think it's.
I know it's gonna hit you and Soggy. I get that,
No.
but you got you got your
I don't
long
care if it
rest, and
hits
it
me.
might blow the other three back.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to avoid damaging them as much as possible because I've done that enough in the past. I'd be like trying to avoid it.
But like,
Yeah.
you know, you got to also do what's best. Otherwise, you could do it right here, I suppose, but that's going to be a lot harder. You can throw it right at your feet automatically. If you try to throw it over here, it's a ranged attack at disadvantage.
Right. Okay, I'll just throw it like.
I suggest you don't do the disadvantage. Just
So this is still gonna count in contact with Donovan throwing it right here. I'll just throw it right there. Is what I'll do. And I take I need at least roll the damage for that.
Yeah, you have to roll the whole thing just to, you know, spend the use and
Right.
blah blah blah.
Right. What is with my damage today for my bursting arrow?
I am going to rule that because the lizard folk were definitely not expecting that they all must make a constitution save, otherwise be knocked back 5 feet. I know that's not part of it, but
Right.
one of them is not knocked back, the other two are. Knocked back 5 feet. That one's knocked back into Donovan, which causes him to trip and fall to the ground. Donovan, the lizard folk. And then this lizard folk is knocked back onto rubble, which might also cause him to trip. He now has to make a dexterity save.
And does that break the grapple upon myself?
Yes, it does. You are no longer grappled. He manages to keep his footing. Now, Soggy, unfortunately, you take 3 damage. As do you, Elwin.
Yeah. I guess it's fortunate in that sense.
Soggy does not have to roll to avoid being knocked back because it's more like the shock of the explosion. It wasn't the actual force of the explosion. It was just like, holy cow, what? Yeah.
Just, I imagine a slow motion scene where Soggy just like.
All right, so this lizard folk is now going to attempt to club Elwin.
That just barely hits.
And just barely does damage.
I guess it's fitting for something that just barely hits my armor class to do that much damage. What is further down here, if you don't mind me asking? Is it like just
more temple? More temple. The line of sight is blocked because, like, if you're looking at it from one direction, you can't really see what's behind there. You know.
Right.
You got the Congo line of lizard folk going.
I'm seeing a good domino effect.
They're lining up. Yeah, well, they're excited.
It's a thunder wave. Thunder wave. Don't you agree? Thunder wave.
Hey, you do it right. You could get like, what kind of? It's like a 20-foot cube, and you could probably get like
15. But yeah.
15. You could probably get like all 6 of those guys, maybe. If he set himself up right.
And then kind of like have them knock over to each other.
Nah, you couldn't get all 6, but you could at least knock this guy back into those guys, maybe. It's starting to turn into one of those Indiana Jones.
Wasn't meant to be quite like that, but
hey, it's entertaining.
It is. Just never try to directly copy anything, you know.
Right.
You just like, get away! And just kind of like just.
Where did you move to? Did you move or did you just cast that where you were?
I cast that where I was.
Okay. So I'm going to draw you a little shape here to show you what's up.
Because you probably just caught both Donovan and I in that as well.
Oh no.
That is a 15-foot cube. Now I can move this cube for you anywhere you want, but it's got to start from you. So it can go like here.
So I have to move first.
Here. Or like here. But yeah, you might want to move so that it's more like this.
Yeah. Like here.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. There you go. Look at that. Perfect. Now you even get one more lizard folk just for the bonus.
Yeah. So now that one has to make a con save. 2 have already failed.
Last 2 failed.
50% win ratio.
Yep. So the first guy gets knocked back 10 feet and hits the stairs and falls into the second guy, forcing another Constitution save to avoid being tripped, which he fails,
Oh.
forcing the next guy to make another Constitution save, which he fails, forcing the next guy to make a Constitution save, which he passes.
I swear this is Indiana Jones.
Oh, that
He
would
throws
be-
the guy down the stairs.
I knew that would just happen.
Hey, that bought us some good time.
They're
right
just
there.
like clunk, 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 clunk.
That bought us some
You
good
did
time.
real good. You did real good. So
Great
those
kid, don't
those
get
three
caught.
guys are prone.
Oh,
This
what about
guy's-
the damage?
I'm
They-
getting on it. This guy gets knocked down here and is prone.
It's just like I would.
And then this guy takes 6. These two guys take 12.
Ooh. So this guy's got Soggy's. Oops, that's one thing. This guy's got Soggy's dagger. That guy's got Donovan's stuff, and that guy's got my bow. Yeah.
Guy stands up and tries to club Donovan just because he's like, what the hell is going on here? Oh, did I not roll for Donovan? Donovan should have gotten a turn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He goes right
He gets
before
turned
this
right
guy.
before this guy.
Okay.
Works
So,
out perfect.
but yeah, that's pretty perfect.
Crotch kick, crotch kick, crotch kick, crotch kick, crotch kick.
Donovan is going to unarmed strike the lizard folk on the ground.
So
Because he
crotch
hasn't
kick.
gotten up yet. Yeah, so that means he gets advantage too. He hasn't gotten up yet.
Foot into him, knocking him unconscious.
I imagine
Take
it's
my
a nut
shi-
shot.
You can take my shield and sword, but you didn't take my greaves, dipshit.
Just nut shots him.
Something you would say.
He just kind of like kicks him right into the balls, and just like.
So this guy stands up from prone. And he's got a little bit of movement, so he'll step forward and go clubbing with Soggy.
Gonna go clubbing.
Seen due to the fast reflexes of the kobold.
I imagine
Slaggy
he'll
is
just
not
land
even
and keep
hurt.
tripping and falling too.
Guy moves. Oop, I gotta make sure I have enough movement for that. Just enough. And I am going to smash Elwyn.
That hits.
Buddy, you brought a hammer to a sword fight? Fucking trit boink.
And that's as far as he can get because he had to stand up from prone.
Hmm.
Oh, no, wait, I can still move, I just can't attack. So I'll move right here.
Oh, that makes it easier. In that case, I'm gonna bring my foot up and attempt to kick him right in the ribs. The guy that just walked up.
You do so and go tumbling down the side of the steep pyramid as you kick off of him and get unbalanced.
How much damage am I taking from that fall?
0.
0? Okay.
It's a slope, not a. It's a slope.
All right then.
And you managed to knock that lizard folk out as you did so.
I can get to right there. And Elwin's going to. Actually. How steep is that slope?
That you can't climb it unless you make
Right.
a climb check.
All right. Good to know. I'll just go this way then. With my hands bound, that sort of makes climbing a little difficult. And that'll end my turn right there, because I'm not running straight into 4 lizard folk. So the one that's got my bow is down. The one that's got Soggy's dagger is down. We just need to get our stuff and then start booking it.
You get hit with the club for 5 more damage.
Ow!
Elwin, you get hit for 6 more damage.
Okay. That does not hit.
Advantage, he can't hit you.
I got hit in the stomach, so his swing to my head just sort of went over.
Yeah.
Soggy just kind of like, Owen, do you not see that we are not supposed to be sacrificed? So many things going wrong. This is very bad for you. So please stop. Deception?
You can try, but I'm going to let you know right now that it is not really going to work. They are bound and determined to sacrifice you guys at this point, especially now that several of them have been knocked out. You're fighting the whole village. Like they're angry at this point. They were going to just sacrifice you nicely.
Is there such thing as a nice sacrifice?
I assume the 3 directly in front of you.
Yep.
One is unconscious and cannot resist, so he's just automatically knocked down over there. The other 2. One makes it, the other one takes all 15 damage and is knocked all the way down the stairs and is unconscious.
Nice. Okay then.
This one takes 7 damage and is not knocked back. Do you do anything else?
Soggy's going to try and will it can Soggy move?
You will take an attack of opportunity from the lizard folk behind you.
Okay, so it'll be just you'll take it. Roll the dice.
For some reason, it's wanting to pan while I'm.
And it doesn't hit. Soggy just kind of like just tumbles out of the way, just like, whoa, right.
There we go. Okay. I was gonna say, Soggy, if you could grab my bow before you ran off, that would be great.
Yeah, that's what Soggy did before he ran off.
That
Because they're fighting you, they have dropped the sword, shield, and bow. You can grab any two.
Soggy grabs the sword and shield and just gives it to 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 our paladin.
the paladin's hands are still bound.
And you can
But
only grab two, so if you grab the sword and shield, then you can't grab the bow.
okay, just the sword and the bow.
You have the sword and the bow. Is that your turn? The kobold is a hard target.
Oh, this should be fun.
Oh, a
Man.
critical hit.
Well, that looked like I can take it. That long rest beforehand, that came.
You got lucky. Donovan is going to acrobatically roll down the side of the temple.
Leaving a shield behind.
Leaving everything behind and taking the disengage action as well.
All right. That guy's up. Come on.
Kobold is just hard to hit.
All right. Mm-hmm. Would it be considered part of the movement or action if I were to just lower my shoulder to attempt to just charge my way past them right here while taking the disengage action? Since I know there's two of them, like right there in this direction.
You can't take the disengage and shoulder them.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of trying to check and see about. Okay. In that case, I'm going
Let you use the bull rush in order to try and push him as part of, like, you get the action and the movement, and then you can still move.
Okay. So in that case, action surge ahead of time, take a disengage from this guy up here, then try to do that bull rush down this way. If that works.
See if I can understand this. You're taking the bull rush action against this guy down here.
Yeah. I'm attempting to disengage as I'm doing so. That's why I action surged.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
That's not gonna work. Okay.
Uh,
Then I guess I won't
Because
action
because
surge.
you
And I'll
can
just
you can
bull rush.
disengage, but then you can just move. Yeah, I'm gonna let you do the bull rush or the
Okay.
disengage, but not both.
Okay. So not even with the action surge. Gotcha.
Even with the action surge, just because it's trying to do two like kind of opposite things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was sort of like questioning. That I was like, it'd be a little iffy there. But
I mean,
okay.
I get where you're going. I like that you're trying to think outside the box. I'm not trying to punish you for it. I'm
Yeah.
giving you the bull rush. I just,
Yeah. So I'll just take the bull rush then. Is what I'll end up doing.
bull rush the guy up on top.
I was planning to bull rush past this guy. That way I can go this way.
No, I understand what you're saying, but like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be shorter the other way? Less
But
likelihood of somebody rushing up behind you.
that's true enough. But I'm also trying to think here about getting Soggy's dagger. Because Soggy's dagger would allow me to cut my hands free at the very least. That way, if need be, I can still defend myself a bit easier than with
Yeah,
hands.
I hear you. See anybody die,
I get you. Plus, if need be, I can always action surge to sprint even further. So yeah, I take it that'll be an athletics check to bull rush him.
Athletics.
Started out great.
It was a good plan, but as you lower your shoulder, the lizard folk just kind of braces for the impact and you're unable to push past him. However, you can still move.
I can still move. And I take it moving past these guys would be considered heavy train and proc. The that's gonna be my.
However, if you action surge, you can still bull rush the guy up top, and then you're only taking 2 attacks of opportunity if you manage to move.
Right. I guess I'll do that instead. Then we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, better than the first time. Better.
There you go, boom. So you knock this guy down the side, caught unawares. He is prone, and then you are able to slide down as well.
All right.
To do your attacks of opportunity, but they're not at advantage either.
That's always handy. That's still
Advantage. Not us, say the lizard folk. So they manage to deal a telling blow to you, knocking you unconscious, but you still roll down the side there. This lizard folk says, "Enough! Stop fighting and get back over here, or we'll just kill you all right here. Sacrifice or no." Talking to you, Soggy.
Soggy just yells at it. You do not understand. You do not understand. And I just can't. And Soggy just starts throwing up water, just due to his to him just
high tension, high adrenaline, and all of that using the Eldritch power. You start to throw up water, and the lizard folk they grab you up. So here's what happens now. The lizard folk grab you guys back up, but Donovan runs off into the jungle. But then, as you guys are being sacrificed, Donovan comes back, and with him is the lizard folk child.
Donovan with the save! Hallelujah!
as the lizard folk child approaches, the massive lizard folk boss who was going to sacrifice you guys all personally turns and shouts, "What is this interloper doing with my child?"
Soggy just
Of the lizard folk immediately like grab their spears and like run up and like put them around Donovan. They're like, "Oh, this dude's dead as fried chicken." You know, like, this guy just messed up big time. But then the child raises his tiny hands and he says, "Stop! These men gave me food and protection in the jungle. They helped me. Sacrifice these jackasses instead." And he like points to like a couple of the loser lizard folk who got knocked out by you guys for getting, with their butts kicked and everything.
yeah, their survival rates. It's just
And so the lizard folk boss, he gets all like flustered and everything, and he's like, if these men aided my child, humans though they be, they shall be celebrated. And with that, the entire village just like erupts into this madhouse of like a carnival style party where they just grab you guys, they're ripping your clothes off, putting like tribal paint and like bone outfit type stuff on you, like they're just completely making you into natives. They got these like big feather things for your arms and legs, and your junk is just like hanging out. They don't care, like their junk's all hanging out. This is just like, a madhouse of just lizard orgy mad party. And in the middle of it all, they begin to feed you guys and give you drink.
Soggy just is just. You remember that one meme with the child with the lipstick?
I do not, but I am not familiar with all memes. Oh, go ahead and end combat here. So do you guys
I
accept
just shared.
the food and drink?
Soggy graciously does.
I take it Elwin's woken up by this point from his unconsciousness.
Yeah. They immediately like took care of you. Like as soon as everything, you got to be awake and conscious when you're sacrificed.
Did you see the video that
No, I'm running the game. I'll check it out though. But yeah.
Elwin will accept it. Never look a gift horse in the mouth given the
Okay,
circumstances.
so now both of you roll Constitution at disadvantage. You've been poisoned.
Sounds legit. Ouch.
do we roll Constitution?
At disadvantage. Actually, you're kind of a lizard, aren't you? You don't have disadvantage, Soggy.
Elwin's not used to this crap. He's from a more civilized area.
Just Soggy's just after the fight, he's just overwhelmed. Just.
And Donovan would have downed that like a champion and impressed them. Okay, so what happens is they have fed you a delicious pork dinner. It is absolutely amazing. It's a huge wild boar, like a dire boar, that they caught and roasted in a pit. And so there's just huge slabs of pork that you can just eat up. And they have this super spicy, like sauce that they dip it in. And you guys had to roll Constitution in order to avoid like reacting to how spicy the sauce is, and so
Yeah.
Elwin and Soggy and Donovan, although he almost was able to handle it, but unfortunately his human tongue is not used to this level of
Soggy,
spice.
Soggy just accidentally just burns the raw part of his tongue, just like
Yep.
oh,
You
touched hot spot.
Yep, you touched right on the hottest part of the pepper, right with your sore tongue, and it just burns you too bad. So all of you are just like, you know, gringos eating a habanero for the first time. You're like, oh, that's very hot. and
Soggy just this is good food though.
and as you go to down it with the liquid, they all stare at you wide-eyed and begin to shout and cheer. And you all must roll another Constitution save. This one is neither advantage or disadvantage. It's just a regular Constitution save.
Man, Elwin is not very good at keeping things down.
And as you guys all roll this, the only one who can handle it is Donovan. Normally I don't, throw in too much of this, but these guys specifically have a South American, you know, Aztec,
Mayan sort of
yeah,
thing.
Mayan Aztec kind of thing going for them. So they have fed you hallucinogenic liquids, which are now making you trip balls. You are,
Soggy just it is the trippy juice.
yeah, yeah, really,
Dream.
really potent stuff too. And because you guys rolled
Yeah.
so low, Donovan is able to handle it, and he has just a mild vision quest type of trip where he kind of does some introspective searching, and we're going to handle that with him actually here. But you guys, both of you go on a wild trip. Now, this is a vision quest, and it is going to involve the bunyip for Soggy, but for Elwin, I would like to know what pops into your head as what would be the first thing that Elwin would start to gravitate towards when he goes on a soul searching, like, this is finding your spirit animal type level stuff here.
It's like that one scene. It's like that one scene with the in Watch Dogs 2 with when the group just takes drugs and the one guy. I just remember that one guy yelling at the top of his lungs, "I found Waldo."
I haven't played Watch Dogs.
I've seen playthroughs.
Uh,
I mean, it
I'd
looked
probably-
interesting, but
but I'd
sorry,
probably
Elwin, go
say-
ahead.
Yeah, it's fine. What I'd probably say Elwin would go towards is probably his guilt towards the event that actually got him exiled, because despite the fact he did do all he could do, he still blames himself for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that knowledge in mind, with your permission, I think I'd like to set those 3 encounters up for next session and play them all out.
That sounds fantastic.
That's good with me.
Excellent. All right. Well, then we are going to go ahead and call it a little early, but next session.
I would love to continue it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would like to continue as well, but this has led me to a place where I would really like to do these 3 vision quests, but I'm not going to half-ass them. So I need I need the week to set them all up for you guys. So
Okay, I get what you're standing.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to continue playing, and we absolutely could, but I feel like story-wise, it would be really good to do these vision quests.
Yeah, I understand.
If you guys both agree, we'll go ahead and call it good gaming here, and I will see you guys next week.
Oh, what did you like most? What part did you